So Facebook's got a new AI feature, and it might be looking at more photos than you think.
It's called Camera Roll Cloud Processing. And yeah, it scans your private photos for post ideas.
The AI looks at all sorts of stuff, time, location, even who's in the photo, to pick what to scan.
It's got stuff you'd never, ever want to post online. We're talking seriously private info.
So how does Meta's approach stack up against, say, Apple and Google? Let's take a look.
But Meta's goal is totally different. They're just trying to get you to post more stuff.
If you're on an iPhone, it's pretty simple. Just a couple of caps in the Facebook settings.
Okay, so Facebook's got a new AI feature, but here's the twist. It's not interested in the photos you've already posted. Nope, it wants to see the ones you haven't. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what this thing is, why it's setting off all kinds of privacy alarms, and, how it all ties into Meta's huge long-term ambitions. Let's dive in. Just let that sink in for a second. What if Facebook saw everything? I'm not talking about your curated profile pictures. I mean every single photo on your phone. The random screenshots, the selfies you'd never post, those really private moments. Because, and this is the crazy part, this isn't some what-if scenario anymore. It's real, and it's rolling out to millions of people right now. All right, so let's get into what we're actually talking about here. This isn't some sci-fi concept. It's a real feature, and it might just be on your phone as we speak. So here's the deal. The feature basically asks you for permission to get into your phone's entire camera roll. Now, Meta's pitch is that it's all to help you, right? To find those hidden gems and create cool, share-worthy things like collages or weekend recaps. But the two words you really need to pay attention to are continuously scan. This isn't a one-time peek. It's an ongoing thing.
So how does this all work? You might be picturing some super complex, magical process, but honestly, when you break it down, it's pretty straightforward. Let's pull back the curtain and see how this AI gets from your private photos to a post suggestion.
Okay, the official name is Camera Roll Cloud Processing. And really, that name tells you pretty much the whole story. The important part? Cloud processing. See, unlike some of Apple's features that do all the heavy lifting right there on your phone, this one works by picking out your photos and uploading them straight to Meta's servers. So let's walk through it. It all starts with you. You get a little pop-up, maybe when you're making a story or something, and you have to say yes. The moment you do that, Facebook starts grabbing photos and sending them up to its cloud. And remember, it's not just a one-and-done thing, it's on an ongoing basis. Then the AI kicks in. It's looking at everything: faces, objects, where you were, what you were doing, and finally, poof, these suggestions for, say, a weekend recap show up privately in your app, just waiting for you to post them.
And you know what's wild? This all happened so fast. I mean, it was first spotted in testing back in June 2025. By July, you already had privacy experts sounding the alarm. And then, bam, just a few months later, on October 17th, it's not a test anymore. It starts rolling out for real to everyone on Facebook in the US and Canada.
Okay, so a feature that uploads your entire private camera roll to Facebook servers, yeah, that's obviously going to raise a few eyebrows. And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, the huge privacy red flags here.
Seriously, just take a second and think about what's on your camera roll right now. It's not just pretty sunsets, is it? We screenshot everything. Our driver's licenses, bank info, medical stuff, flight details, not to mention private selfies, pictures of our kids, and a lot of those photos have location data baked right in, which can show exactly where you live or work. And the thing is, the AI isn't picky. It just scans all of it.
And this is where we really get to the core issue. The privacy company Proton had a quote that just nails it. They said, "This isn't about Facebook looking at what you've already posted. No. This time they're reaching into the stuff stored only on your device. They're blurring that line between what's private on your phone and what's fair game for big tech surveillance and AI training." That's a huge shift. And of course, when you tap Allow, you're agreeing to the fine print, Meta's AI terms of service. And inside that fine print, well, you're saying it's okay for them to analyze facial features in your photos. You're letting them keep your personal info to personalize their AI. And get this, you're agreeing that your private photos can be looked at not just by computers, but by actual humans. Oh, and in a pretty wild move, they also basically say that if they break any of those tough biometric privacy laws in places like Illinois or Texas, it's kind of on you. Look, context is everything here, right? This isn't happening in a vacuum. You have to look at this new feature and remember Meta's history. We're talking about Cambridge Analytica, storing millions of passwords in plain text, that massive $650 million settlement over facial recognition. The track record on privacy has been, let's just say, a little bumpy. And that history makes it really tough for a lot of people to just trust them on this.
Now, to be fair, Meta isn't the only one using AI on your photos. I mean, Apple and Google have been doing it for years. But, and this is a huge but, the way they do it, and more importantly, why they do it, is completely different. Let's really break that down.
Okay, this chart really lays it all out. Just look at that first row, processing location. See how Apple is the odd one out? They do most of the analysis right on your device, which is a massive win for privacy. Now, jump down to primary purpose. For Apple and Google, it's about helping you organize your photos. For Facebook, it's all about getting you to share more on their platform. And of course, it all traces back to the business model, how each of these companies actually makes its money.
So if you take away one thing, let it be this. Apple and Google are looking at photos you've already decided to give them for backup. Their goal is to make your photo library better for you. Facebook is doing something totally different. It's reaching for the pictures you decided not to share to try and get you to post them and boost engagement for them. The intent is just fundamentally different. So after hearing all that, I'm guessing a lot of you are probably thinking, okay, how do I turn this thing off? And the good news is you absolutely can. So let's walk through the steps right now to take back control.
All right, if you're on an iPhone, you're going to want to do two things to be safe. First, open the Facebook app itself. Go into the menu, then Settings and Privacy, then Settings, and find Camera Roll Sharing Suggestions. Just toggle that off. But for extra peace of mind, go to your main iPhone Settings app. Tap Privacy and Security, then Photos, find Facebook in the list, and set it to None. That cuts off access completely.
And for all you Android users out there, it's pretty much the same idea. Step 1, open the Facebook app and turn off that same Camera Roll Sharing Suggestions toggle in the settings. Then, for Step 2, go to your main Android settings, find Apps, then Facebook, tap Permissions, and for photos and videos, just hit Don't Allow, and boom, you're done.
Now, there is one last thing you should know. Meta says that after you turn this off, they'll delete any photos they uploaded within 30 days. The catch? There's absolutely no way for you to check and see if they actually did it. You just have to trust them.
So, what's the big picture here? Where is this all going? Because let's be real, this feature isn't just about making cute collages. It's a clue. It's one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle for Meta.
Okay, now Meta did make one really important clarification. They say they're not using your photos to train their big AI models just by scanning them. According to them, that only happens if you actually use one of their suggestions, if you edit it or share it. It's a fine point, but it's a pretty important one.
And that brings us back to the long game. What this feature really does is it starts to normalize this idea of an AI constantly watching and analyzing our private world. And why would they want that? Well, think about their goals. AR glasses, the metaverse. For any of that to work, an AI needs to be able to see and understand your world, all the time, in real time. This is step one. It's about getting us all comfortable with that idea.
So, it all comes down to this one big question, doesn't it? We keep getting these deals, these trade-offs. We're offered convenience, fun new features, cool ways to make stuff. And the price we pay is always a little bit of our privacy, another slice of our data. It's like opening another window for these companies to look into our lives. And with this feature, that window looks directly into our most private, personal memories. So the question is that a price you're willing to pay?